Hey guys, so today I wanted to show you something you really probably thought you would never see on this channel. And yeah, you're right, it's a tape deck. So, for our younger audience who has absolutely no idea what the heck this thing is, it plays these. These are compact cassettes, and they came out in the 1960s. They didn't take off till a little while after that, but they were introduced by the Philips company back then, and they didn't really start taking off for a while, but when they did, they kind of became king because they were so bloody cheap. And then, of course, when CDs came out, then, well, when the CDs very first came out, they were very, very expensive. Again, for our younger audience who doesn't know this, if you're over 30, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, for our younger audience who doesn't know, and anyway, CDs basically took over the market shortly thereafter, but to start with, they were very expensive, so the cassette still had a little bit of life left. And then as CDs came down in prices and the players came down in prices, then these things kind of phased out. However, they're still being made, and they never stopped. In fact, there's still a company that has been making them ever since they were really a thing. I don't know when the company was started. I think maybe in the 80s. I don't know about that. You might want to correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong. But anyway, they were still making these things, and so you can actually buy new ones, I believe, on Amazon, from that company. I believe it's the National Cassette Company. Again, that might be wrong, but anyway, so again, let's get on to the actual review of the player. So this is obviously the YAMAHA KX-W262, and it was released in the 90s, I believe. I'm not quite sure about that. I think 92, something like that. So it was later in the format's life. This was kind of when, well, the 90s were an interesting time. But other than that, I don't know. We got rid of our original player, and for some reason we kept the CD player and the actual amp. So I don't know why we ended up getting rid of it. We also had a record player as well. We got rid of all the records as well, which I'm kind of sad about. I don't really remember why, but anyway, we had a fairly nice tape deck. I don't remember what kind it was or anything like that. It was too long ago. But anyway, we had one, and I played with the thing for hours. So I thought, you know what, let's bring back some nostalgia. I looked on eBay, and I found this guy. This was 10 bucks, and it works great right out of the box. I went to go pick it up, so it was literally $9.99 that I paid for this. And when this thing came out, it was a $300 machine, and that was in the 90s. That equates to about 600 bucks today, which is really, that's quite expensive, to be perfectly honest, for something that plays tapes. But, you know, I guess, what can you expect? But I picked it up for 10 bucks, and other than the door on deck A missing, there's really nothing wrong with it. Now, the tape counter doesn't work, but I'll show you in a second why that is. I do have the lid open because I want to show you the inside, and I want to make note of something that, again, our younger audience will have absolutely no clue about, but I care about. So later on in the review, I'll show you the inside. I'm also planning on playing some stuff. I don't have any non-copyrighted music on tape, but I do have this from probably the 70s, and it's got a hilarious title, and it's funny, so I'll play that. Now, this is like the crappiest recording ever, but, you know. Alright, so on to the actual review. We'll go ahead and take a look at the front of the machine. Unfortunately, the door is broken, so I can't really give you an accurate idea of the look, but we have the power button, headphone jack, the reverse mode selector, and then the eject button for deck A. We also have another eject button over here for deck B, and in the middle we have all the controls basically. Fast forward, play, rewind, you get the idea. Again, we have also record and stuff. Now, unfortunately, this guy will only record on deck A. It won't record on deck B, just playback, unfortunately, but, you know, what can you ask for? I mean, I don't believe this was a top-of-the-line machine in its day, but it does have Dolby B and C, so, you know, that's always, you know, good news, especially since that horrible hiss that comes from tapes, even though it did get a lot better later on in the format's life, to be perfectly honest. And, in fact, some of the newer tapes that I have, some of these guys, these are, I don't know how old these are, but they can't be that old. These are Type 3 tapes, by the way, and apparently these are quite rare, and you really can't get them anymore, which is kind of odd. I have some for some reason, but whatever the case may be, all the controls in the middle. The really only thing, it's a standard player. I mean, the only thing that you really need to know, it's got Dolby B and C. It will copy tapes, so if you put a pre-recorded tape or whatever in deck B and put a blank one in deck A and dub it over, it sounds pretty good. It's not like some of the earlier ones that sounded really, really bad. I mean, it doesn't sound particularly good, but, you know, cassettes, unless you're using, like, Dolby S recorded straight off vinyl, it doesn't sound insanely good anyway, but, you know, that's beside the point. So, you know, we have the deck selectors, this, that, and the other. We do have view meter, although it's really kind of bad, and I don't know if there's something wrong with this one, or it just isn't very helpful. I mean, it shows you that there's audio, and I'll show you that in a minute when we're actually playing stuff. So let me go ahead and open up the lid. So this is the inside of the machine. I do apologize for being a bit shaky, but whatever the case may be, this is just beautiful. Let's just take a minute. Okay, that's good. All right, so I'll go ahead and get a flashlight just to make things. Actually, never mind. This films out on the camera. But whatever the case may be, I'm just gonna. Oh, by the way, this is obviously unplugged, and this has been sitting for a couple hours, so I'm not gonna touch anything. But this is also. I wanted to make note. This is how I got the machine. Like, I haven't touched anything in here. Just look how clean it is. That's just amazing. I figured that a machine this old, every other piece of electronics, even the ones like this that don't have fans that I've worked on before, always were insanely dusty inside. Why? I don't know. Guess the guy just took care of it. So I guess I'll go ahead and start with the power switch. I thought this was a little bit cheesy that they did this, but it is a hard power switch, which I really, really like. I mean, as you guys know, electronics today usually have soft power switches. They're a pain. They're impossible to fix, and yeah, so the thing is, all this is through hole. There is not a single SMD part on this entire board that I can tell, unless it's on the underside, but given that all the resistors are through hole, I doubt there's any SMD at all on the underside. I'm not going to take it out. There's no good reason to. So, yeah, that's about it for that. I just wanted to make note of how beautiful the board looks. It's just nicely laid out. If you look real closely, the different segments of the board are actually segregated and they are labeled. That is cool. They don't do that these days, and I really, really wish that they would. I'll go ahead and give you a quick look back in there. You can't really see anything. It's quite dark down there. You can't even see the rollers or anything. It's not that interesting, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you the inside of the machine. I think it's cool. The power supply board's separate. It's a linear regulated power supply, or at least that's what it looks like, given the big transformer. And it's you can't read it, but it's 8,000 microfarad capacitor there. So yeah, the 12 volt rail, I'm guessing is what that is very, very well smoothed out. So I just love everything's through hole. They have a custom chip down there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's just, there's actually some parts in SIP packages as well. It's just even just the wiring. Like, look how neat this is. It's zip tied and just tied off and neatly routed. Like, you just don't get that nowadays. You look in a modern piece of equipment and it is, well, to say a rat's nest is kind of an understatement. So let's go ahead and put it back together and get a tape playing. Oh, and one quick thing while we still have it open. If you look down there, sorry the light's a bit bright. That white roller right there, that goes to the tape counter, and I can't see anywhere that should link onto. Like, there should be a belt, maybe down in that slot there. I just don't know, but there's no like belt pieces in the machine, so either just somebody took it out or they just never put one in here. I'm not quite sure about that one. If you know, leave a comment, please.
stains out. I tried to use Clorox and I tried to use shine. I found neither one. Remove the stain. I guess my fault be some friend girl Mama, she living upstate. I called her and told her about my Fruit Loom fate. She says she has a master's in removal of stain, but she said remove that she must be insane. So I gave it all up, went back to town. Thought my future would be a hill of a wreck. I was sitting in bed, thought a light of smoke. Cut me a fart and I damn near choked. What appeared before my watery eyes was a big blue flame about 40 foot high.
I'm going to record on what I assume to be a brand new tape off the YouTube audio library, so you can actually see what the actual quality of this machine is like, instead of hearing a very terrible song from that some idiot wrote in his basement. So anyway, we'll go ahead and pop the tape in here. We'll put Dolby C on, and I'm recording this straight off my laptop, so again, not the best possible quality. The best possible quality would probably be recording straight off the turntable, but I don't have one, so, and besides, even if I did, I can't really have you listen to any of that, since YouTube will flag it as a copyright. So we'll go ahead and turn WC on, hit record, and start recording, and then I'll let you listen to the original track, and what the recording sounds like. really do like this machine. I think that, especially for the amount that I paid for it, it works pretty good. And I do want to make one note: the recording that you heard that I took off the machine, that I, the track that I recorded on the machine and then recorded back off the machine, in real life, it playing back to me sounded just like the recording playing directly from the computer. But that's just the way that I heard it. And then when I played back the recording that was on the computer of the tape, it didn't sound anything like it. So I think I probably screwed up a little bit in that recording process. Maybe it's just the analog to digital converter in my laptop for recording just isn't very good, or something like that. It sounded really muffled, and that didn't sound anything like it does in real life. So I do apologize that that is really off, but I don't know what's causing that. Maybe it's my laptop or whatever. But anyway, I just wanted to make note of that it sounded to me exactly the same. So I wanted to point that out. But otherwise, I really like the machine, and it works pretty good. And it's old, but I mean it's in good shape. So I think it'll do me. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. This isn't the sort of content that I usually make, but I thought, you know what, I got it. I might as well try it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a very nice day.